We survive every single day because of the oxygen that we breathe. But for every single day that we live, our greatest source of life continues to deplete. For the past 150 years, humans have created a big impact on the regeneration of carbon dioxide to oxygen, which is mainly done by the ocean and trees, which both are starting to deteriorate because of human activities. Each day, around 42 million trees are being cut down, and one tree could supply oxygen for a whole day for 4 persons. If this rate continues, there will come a time where oxygen will no longer exist, and all forms of life will cease to exist. In this video, we'll talk about details on the planet's problem with oxygen and what we can do to put this to a stop. Everywhere we look, thousands of environmental problems took place. Flattened landforms, forest deforestation, contaminated bodies of water, and endangered plants and animals are all due to humans' negligence. Considering all the alarming problems caused by humans, this comes to the questions, are we invasive in the environment? In definition, invasive species are non-native organisms that cause harm when introduced to a new local ecosystem. As a common knowledge, humans tend to consider plants and animals to be invasive. Little did we know, we are one as well. How? We are the primary cause of pollution that has detrimental effects in all living organisms. Considering the definitions given earlier, humans are non-native. That's why some of us believe that we aren't invasive. Despite that, upon observation, we still have the most invasive effects in our environment. In this video, we'll explain the impacts of humans in one of the biological cycles, the oxygen cycle.
The oxygen cycle is a biological process that helps maintain the Earth's oxygen level by moving through 3 main spheres: the atmosphere, the lithosphere, and the biosphere. Moreover, the oxygen cycle is linked to the carbon cycle. Moving on, the oxygen cycle makes 3 significant contributions to the environment. First, photosynthesis makes the world a habitable environment for plants, animals, humans, and other organisms. This allows them to breathe and continue functioning to maintain a living environment. Second, it sustains aquatic life by allowing aquatic plants to perform photosynthesis. With this, it can sustain an environment in which organisms can live. Finally, the decomposition of organic waste absorbs oxygen from the atmosphere and releases carbon dioxide. Since carbon dioxide is required for photosynthesis, the carbon dioxide released during decomposition will supply the plants to produce oxygen.
Invasive species covers all living organisms in an ecosystem. It affects the oxygen cycle by disrupting the oxygen cycle made by the native ecosystem. Invasive species can be a factor in decreasing the oxygen production in an area by competing with other native organisms that is in the ecosystem. Invasive species are affecting the oxygen cycle by causing the extinction of native animals and plants that are included in the previous ecosystem. Altering the existing environment reduces the biodiversity that is included in the ecosystem.
Anthropogenic can be defined as the changes within our environment caused by human action, either directly or indirectly. One such thing that human action influences is the oxygen cycle. Since the 1980s, there have been signs of oxygen reduction within our atmosphere caused by anthropogenic effects. One such thing is, firstly, deforestation. Deforestation decreases the amount of oxygen and increases the amount of carbon dioxide within our atmosphere, therefore affecting the living conditions of all living beings and the oxygen cycle. Secondly, the filthy air within our atmosphere, filled with airborne particles and pollutants coming from industrial sources such as carbon monoxide, sulfur trioxide, and nitrogen dioxide, which can pose as a significant health risk when exposed to it long term. Lastly, the reduction of oxygen and increased amount of carbon dioxide weakens the atmosphere. Water evaporates faster due to the heat coming from the weakened atmosphere. These water vapors and carbon monoxide are greenhouse gases that traps the heat coming from the sun from leaving our planet, contributing to global warming, which causes climate change, sea level rise, and droughts.
Epigenetics is the genetic control by elements other than person's DNA sequence.
Epigenetic modification can turn genes on or off, affecting the proteins expressed. Epigenetics has a role in a variety of typical cellular functions. Every human needs oxygen to live, and this is the relationship between epigenetics and oxygen cycle.
The oxygen cycles, along with carbon and hydrogen cycles, is crucial to the continuation of life on Earth.
The oxygen cycle is a biological process that moves through the Earth's three primary spheres: the atmosphere, the lithosphere, and the biosphere, which helps to maintain the oxygen level. The oxygen cycle can affect epigenetics in the way of living by people that are epigenetic to their family, because some expressions of genes can have an excellent and harmful effect on someone.
Air pollution is a serious problem that affects not only our health but also the health of the planet. Every time we drive alone, use fossil fuels, or engage in activities that generate emissions, we contribute to the problem. But we can all take action to reduce air pollution in our community. By supporting clean energy, using public transportation, carpooling, and reducing our own carbon footprint, we can make a real difference. Let's work together to create a cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable future for ourselves and for future generations. Don't wait, take action now.
Now, given the importance of the oxygen cycle to the environment, organisms, and the whole world in general, it is vital for us human beings as one of the organisms in the world that can facilitate change, to be able to make sure that the oxygen cycle is operating as its intended level. We must be able to do what we can to give the oxygen cycle what it needs to be able to function properly, such as regulating invasive species in an ecosystem, plant more trees to environments that have a high carbon dioxide level as well as low oxygen levels, reduce pollutions caused by human activity and the likes. In other words, each and everyone must work together to maintain proper oxygen cycle to achieve harmony between us and the world.
Now, let me ask you a question. Do you want to be part of the change?